guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today we're going to be making Kolokythopita, also known as zucchini and cheese pie. I'm going to take you over the ingredients and we're going to make this delicious dish. Pies are really common in Greece and they're made with pretty much everything. Zucchinis are in season right now, but you can make this any time of the year. I really love zucchini. It's a really mild vegetable and it's super delicious. So what I have here is a few grated zucchinis, and all I did was I just washed them and I grated them with the skin on with this part of my grater, the bigger grate. And then I put a little bit of salt on here and I allowed it to drain. Look how much water it released. You don't want that water in your pie, otherwise it'll get really soggy. So we have that, we have some dill, some finely chopped sliced scallions, chopped up mint, some eggs, salt, pepper, olive oil, shredded Gouda cheese. I love Gouda cheese. You can use Gouda, mozzarella, Parmesan, but do try the Gouda one, it's delicious. Crumbled feta, and a pack of phyllo dough. That's it. So what we're going to do is start making our filling. It's really simple. So you want to get as much of the water out as possible. And if you've made my Kolokythopita, which are my zucchini fritters, this is the same thing that we did to that zucchini as well. You want to squeeze out as much of the water as you can with your hands, just like this. Look how much water this released. And this is about 5 medium-sized zucchinis. That's a lot of water. I'm going to wash my hands and we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so we have our zucchini in here. Now we're going to put our scallions. And since we're not cooking any of these filling ingredients, you want to use scallions, not any other. Scallions are really mild, so they don't need to be pre-cooked. If you were using, say, a white onion or a yellow onion, say you didn't have scallions and you wanted to use that, saute it a little bit before you put it in here because it has a bite to it. Then mint, it adds a lot of freshness. Mint goes really well with zucchini, as does dill. And I'm using dry dill, but if you have fresh dill growing in your garden, do use fresh dill. Nothing is better than fresh dill. I'm going to put my cheeses in here. A little bit of black pepper. And since we've already salted the zucchini and the cheeses are salty, we're going to mix this up before I add my eggs in here. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a taste to see how we are on the salt. It's salty, but I'm going to put a tiny bit more salt for my taste. Just a little more because it is going to go in the phyllo, and the phyllo has no salt. So you want your filling to be super flavorful. So I'm going to beat my eggs before I put them in here. Pour them in. And this is going to hold everything together. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. The rest is going to go in my phyllo. Mix this up a little more, and then we're going to put it all together. A little salt, a little more black pepper, and even though it's not on the recipe, I love crushed red pepper flakes. I'm going to put a few in here just for a little more spice. I like things a little on the spicier side. All right, so I have a 10-inch round deep dish pie plate, and I'm going to use that. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. And you want to make sure when you're working with phyllo dough that it's defrosted properly overnight in your refrigerator. It's sold in the freezer section in your supermarket. And you don't want to defrost this on the counter and use it an hour before you make anything. It's not going to work. It's going to shred. It's going to fall apart. It's going to be all stuck together. It's going to be a big mess. So defrost it overnight properly. You could even store it in your refrigerator for a little while, for about a week if you know you're going to be using it. Then let it come to room temperature on your counter for at least an hour before you use it, and that'll make it really easy to work with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open this up and leave it on the side right here. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil around my dish. And then I'm going to take about 3 sheets and lay them half inside my pie dish, and the rest is going to hang out. And you don't have to butter or oil each one individually. You can just put a little bit in between the layers, and that's going to be fine. Take another 3 or 4 sheets and overlap them so it falls on the other side. So you have one at around the 3 o'clock position, one at around the 6 o'clock position if this was a clock. Put a little more olive oil on here, brush it all around. Take another 3 or 4 sheets, put them at around like the 9 o'clock position if this was a clock. Pour some more olive oil in here. Take another 3 sheets and then put them finally in the last part, which is like the 12 o'clock spot. Put a little more olive oil. And then pour all of your filling in here. That looks so good. And then you just want to fold it all up. It's kind of like you're making a little package. It's a little gift. Okay, fold it all up like that. Some more olive oil, just pour it on there. And then take half of the sheets that are left and put them over your pie and just tuck them in like that. See, this is where you don't have to be perfect. The more rustic it looks, the better. A little more olive oil. And take the final few sheets, these are about 3 or 4 sheets, and put those also over and tuck them in. And they don't have to go completely under. Just tucked in like that. That's going to look really gorgeous when it comes out. It's going to be all crust. It's going to be like a little crust. And it's going to be golden brown and beautiful. So we're going to pour the rest of this olive oil on top, making sure that all of the phyllo is coated with olive oil, so that way it doesn't dry up in the oven. It's nice and moist. Now you take a serrated knife and you score it, not all the way down to where the filling is, okay? You just want to score because it's going to make it easier to slice. And you're going to do that into 8 pieces. Just like that. You don't go all the way down to the bottom, just to the top, and that way the filling has a little bit of room to release the steam. And then this is going to be your guide, and it's going to make it easy to slice it once it's all cooked. That's it. Make sure there's no olive oil being wasted. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my oven. I'm going to put this in my oven. I'm going to let it cook at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour until it's completely golden on top. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. So it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour, okay? All right, guys, so I took it out of the oven. It baked for about an hour. And you see how it's got nice and golden brown on top. You want it to be just like that. You see how the edges are nice and curled and they look like a pie crust, and that's just going to add more crunch and, you know, more layers of flavor and of texture, and that just makes it really nice because the inside is going to be creamy, the outside is going to be crispy and crunchy and hearty. But anyway, I can't cut into this yet because the zucchini left a lot of, juices, a lot of liquids. We need them to redistribute and kind of set in the pie. You should not cut this for at least like 15-20 minutes. Let it sit for about 15-20 minutes and then slice it and serve it. So I'm bringing this to my restaurant. This along with the fudge brownies that I make, not fudge brownies, I made Nutella fudge brownies today with Ferrero Rocher. And I'm going to take them to the restaurant, and I'm bringing my camera with me so that way hopefully when I cut into this I could show you what it looks like I really hope I get to do that. I know it gets crazy sometimes when I have guests over and I'm rushing like crazy to get stuff out on time, but I'm going to try my best to cut a slice of this and show you guys what the inside looks like. If I don't, I apologize, but you can go on my website and look at it. I have lots of pictures on there. Go on the website, get the recipe, make this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone.